You will see it for long. Hey, all the rain has moved on out, and we're about set for baseball as Matt Holliday signs some autographs. Umpires getting ready to meet with the respective representatives of each team. Used to be always the managers walk out, but not in this day and age.
I got to take it out a few times.
Did you really?
You feel special.
Yeah. Boy, that's when things went south. Huey's taking the lineup card out. Antonio Senzatella coming in for the bullpen. He is ready to go. We are ready to go. So I don't know what you guys have been doing during the rain delay. We welcome you upstairs. And with Jeff Houston, I'm Drew Goodman. What we've been doing is watching the Mets beat up the Dodgers, which is a great thing. It's tightened up a little bit. It was 7-2. It's now 7-3. Fairly late. Zach Wheeler's pitching well. I know we're supposed to be talking about the Rockies, but
no, but that's
you're scoreboard watching.
And you can do that in September. And the Rockies are doing it too. They know what's happening out in LA. They know Arizona's off tonight, so there's nothing happening there. They start off with Atlanta tomorrow back in Arizona. So yeah, you're doing some scoreboard watching while you're waiting for this game to get going. And
keep in mind, when we talk about the strength of schedule, the Rockies the rest of the way play the third toughest schedule in the National League. The Diamondbacks play the second, and Huey mentioned they have a tough series coming up with Atlanta. The Dodgers have one of the easiest schedules the rest of the way. So if the Mets can get this ball game and hold on, they'll take 2 out of 3 from the Dodgers.
And that'd be a good thing. And actually, I look at this as for the Rockies having a tougher schedule because they played better against a tougher competition than they have against clubs that are 500 or below. So for me, it's a win-win.
Yeah, and this never gets old when you look at the standings in the National League West. There your Rockies on top, 76-62. It's the second best win percentage they've ever had through 138 games. The only time they were better was back in 2009. The Dodgers a half game back, pending the outcome of their ball game, as we were talking about with the Mets. Arizona, as Huey mentioned, idle tonight. And this will be the final matchup at Coors Field between the Rockies and Giants. Here's a look at the Southwest batting order for San Francisco. Bruce Bochy's played a different lineup each night, and today is no different. Joe Panik will lead it off. Alan Hansen with the pinch hit home run a couple of nights ago will bat second. Then it's Longoria Belt, Austin Slater, the former Stanford star, will bat fifth. Young Chris Shaw will bat sixth. Gorkys Hernandez, Aramis Garcia behind the plate, and Andrew Suarez, the left-hander who's been impressive of late, will be on the mound. Well, Antonio Senzatella is coming off a pretty good performance against San Diego, but his best performance this year, if you recall, came against the Giants.
And that was the first time he had been a starter this year, because remember, he started the year in the bullpen as a reliever against the Giants that day. He was just spectacular, and that was his first start since August 28th of 2017. But he's had good numbers against San Francisco in his career, so this is a good night for him. 6 games, 4 starts against San Francisco. He's 4-0 with a 3.26 ERA and a batting average against it just 2.08, and that's over 30-plus innings for Antonio.
When the epilogue on the 2018 season is written, and hopefully you're not able to write it until November, so much will be printed on how good this young rotation has been in leading the 2018 Rockies. Think about this, folks. Over their last 13 ball games against the National League West, the Rockies starters have fashioned a 3.18 ERA, and they have 10 quality starts of those 13 outings.
I go back to last year with a lot of these young guys. At this point in the year, they kind of hit the wall. And it's understandable. Your first year in the big leagues, you don't know how to go those extra 20, 25, 30 games in what you do down in the minor leagues. But they got that experience. And so now there's no wall they're hitting. They've busted through that, and they're looking at the prize going into October.
Almost look, tell me if you buy into this, that the fact that this game was delayed a little over an hour by the time we get the first official pitch, you know, the Rockies were inside, they're stretching, they're taking swings underneath, that sort of thing. But guess what? All the TVs have the Dodger game on, and you have a pretty good feeling. Not that you can't look up in the middle of the game and see on the scoreboard what's going on at Dodger Stadium, but it's like, okay, man, we can pick up another game.
You know what it does? It keeps you focused during a rain delay. To be able to watch that, and you know what's going on out in LA. You know that they're going to be flying here after the ball game with the day off tomorrow, starting on Friday. But it keeps you engaged in this game tonight, where you're saying, hey, you know what? Don't lose focus. Take care of business tonight.
That's right. Well, taking care of business downstairs for us is the birthday boy. Happy 39th, Billy.
I feel young, kind of, sort of. Not really. You know what? You guys are talking about the guys being focused and being ready to take care of business. On rain delays like tonight, there are some cool aspects to it because you are getting ready as a group. You also understand that there is a bit of a rain delay, but you also get to watch some baseball. And I guarantee you the Rockies are watching what's going on in LA. The Dodgers are down 7-3 right now to the New York Mets. And as a group, when you're watching another team that's chasing you down, you understand how important tonight's game is. There's a little extra motivation to get this series sweep. And it is one of those aspects in September baseball where you would rarely watch a game like that. But tonight, you're paying attention to it. You'll watch it on the auxiliary scoreboard, and you'll make sure that you play your best baseball to finish the drill. Guys?
Sounds like a great plan. Matt Halliday gets the left-hander. He's out in left field as we look at the Rockies defense. Blackman in center, Cargo in right, one of the hitting stars from last night. And then in the infield, it's Nolan and Trevor on the left side, DJ and Desi on the right side. Chris Iannetta, 35-year-old backstop, and he'll put down one finger to start the ball game. And we are underway after a 65-minute delay. That first pitch misses high and away, 1-0. In there, 1 ball, 1 strike. Larry Vanover will let you know.
He will. Might be a half a second later than what you would like.
Kind of an old school umpire, right? That's going to be called strike 2. Pounding that outside corner is Senzatella against Joe Panik. 65 degrees on this overcast Wednesday evening. And here is the 1-2, and that is a flare that's going to drop into left field. I mean, that was like a bad sand wedge right there. So Panik reaches, and of course yesterday in the first inning the Dodgers didn't hit the ball hard, but they got a run against German Marquez, which is not easy to do, but it was, you know, it was a couple of hits more like this.
Yeah, right off the end of the bat. That was a good changeup on the Subaru Supermo. It was just you know, unlucky for Antonio, because that's one of those ones you mentioned. It's like a sand wedge where you're trying to hit it to center field and then you shank it to left. That's kind of what happened with that swing.
You hit it off the hosel. Now here's a guy with some pop, Alan Hansen, getting his first start. He's had 2 pinch hitting appearances in the series. One, of course, was that home run he hit against Sungwon Oh when the Rockies had the 7-2 lead, then got caught and then trailed for a moment before Noel Cuevas and what he did on Monday night, the 2-run single in the 8th as the Rockies came from behind. Rockies are 4-0 in September, and all 4 victories come from behind victories. They have 40 of them now in the season. This is going to drop 2, and Panik gets a good read, first to third.
Are we repeating yesterday right now?
It looks that way.
Because both of those balls were not hit at all, right off the end of the bat, both of them. You couldn't have kind of thrown him out there in any better position, and Panik knows that, you know, where the ball is, so he goes first to third. And last night, Gregor Blanco didn't hit a ball particularly hard, neither did Joe Panik, and they ended up first and second last night.
And of course, you had the stolen base there by Blanco, and then the bleeder down the third base line that gave the Giants that 1-0 lead. So now you're in minimized damage mode. Evan Longoria at the plate. And the fastball's up. Got to be frustrating from a pitcher standpoint. You feel like you make 2 pretty good pitches. You get weak contact, and both of them drop.
No doubt about it.
That's a 2-0 count.
Then you know, as a pitcher, you're saying, well, I just made 2 good pitches and they got base hits, and now I got first and third, nobody out. I got to be really careful with this guy. And then you fall behind 2-0. I mean, it's human nature.
Yep, you pitch yourself into a bigger jam. Hansen can run at first base. And a ground ball to third. See if the Rockies can turn it over. There's one on the first, double play. That's the, you know, in a bad situation, that's almost the best case scenario, short of getting 3 strikeouts. So the Rockies allow the Giants to get a run, but now the bases are clear and you have 2 in the book.
Yeah, 132 double plays on the year for the Rockies, and right now, first and third with nobody out. Yeah, you'll trade 2 for 1 and nobody on. I mean, that's a heck of a pitch from Antonio. He's giving a little props there to Nolan, saying nice job. But 2-0 count to Evan Longoria, and you get him to roll over.
Yeah, good play by Nolan and a great play around the bag. DJ made sure he got a lot on that throw. There's a strike on Brandon Belt.
If you get out of this inning, if you're Antonio, I guarantee you that either Bud or Steve Foster are going to go over and talk to him, say, just keep doing your thing. Keep pitching the way you are. That's a foul ball. Because, you know, that's going to happen. You're going to get a couple bad breaks, and that's what he did the first 2 guys.
Yep. Well, Antonio Senzatella is like so many of these Rockies, and you know how they are collectively. The word that we keep coming back to is resilient. This is a resilient, tough-minded young man. 2 strikes on Belt.
Some early changeups from Antonio. Good to see.
That's his second best pitch. It's his best secondary pitch. You know, the slider's still a little hit and miss.
Changeups, 0.91 batting average against the changeup.
Getting the bite on that slider. 2-2. Belt hitting just 157 in the second half. And he has a base hit. So that'll bring up Austin Slater. Slater playing right field this evening. Old Pac-12 player at Stanford. Kind of nice for him. He's playing in the Bay Area still.
You think he's still living in his college apartment? Or do you think he moved up?
He graduated from there.
Commute was probably too long.
Yeah, but you know, that would be a little tougher commute every day. Though if you're driving from Palo Alto or living in Palo Alto, life is good.
Yes, it is.
One of the prettiest campuses in America. 1 strike on Slater. 2 strikes on Slater.
Slater with some sliders a couple days ago.
Oh. Fastball there. 1-2. The run given up in the first inning is our good luck charm.
Seems like it.
Well, it's like the obligatory first inning run allowed. The Rockies have the highest first inning ERA in baseball. It's above a 7.5. And yet, more often than not, they're shaking hands at the end of the night. 14 games above 500, a season high. And that's going to get through. So the Giants with two-out singles, 4 hits here in the first inning. 2 bloops, 1 sharply hit by Belt, and that one was a broken bat single. And now you have Chris Shaw coming up, and Steve Foster will go to the mound.
I think this is more of a confidence visit by Steve, because there's nothing going on mechanically.
Well, you think of the last 2 hitters. Belt fell behind 0-2, ended up getting a hit. Slater fell behind 0-2, ended up getting a hit.
Well, I think for those 2 guys, unlike the first couple guys that got hits, you know, where the off-speed pitch was good, I think the last 2 guys just didn't have that off-speed pitch to put them away.
Well, that's what German Marquez had last night. He had a variety of pitches that the Giants and everybody else of late do some swings and misses. Slider, changeup last night. He had a good changeup as well, which is his 4th best pitch. There's German. Really didn't have his great curveball, but listen, he'd go get 98 with his fastball when he wanted to.
Yeah, pitched very aggressive with his fastball down in the zone last night.
He's special, man. He's fun to watch. One and one on Shaw. Ten major league at bats. He has 1 hit, that home run he hit, which is the 2nd longest home run for the Giants in the last 4 years. 468 feet. He has struck out 7 times. Senza got that double play off the bat of Longoria, and with the next 2 pitches, again, was ahead of Belt 0-2. Had he gotten him out on the next pitch, it would have been a 12-pitch inning. Now he's got 22 pitches invested. Three and one.
And this is a scary one too with Shaw, because he will strike out, but he's got that long swing that he connects.
And he had 81 home runs and 404 minor league games.
Well, and you know he's just selling out for the fastball right now too.
Supplemental 1st round pick, and this is in the air to right. It's shallow. Cargo will get there. Well, in the inning, a run for the Giants. End up with 4 base hits.
4 hits, 1 run. Buddy came over and Steve Foster and said, you're throwing the ball fine. You got a couple hits. Really, the only ball that was hit hard was Brandon Belt's. You know, the rest of them were the soft variety. But hey, now it's time for the offense to get going.
Here's the Southwest batting order for the Rockies. They'll have Blackman and LeMahieu setting the table. Nolan will bat third. Trevor Story behind him. Matt Holliday, he's swinging it well. Ian Desmond, Cargo, and that's inside. First pitch of the ball game from Suarez. Ball 1. Iannetta will bat 8th in front of Sensatella. Charlie is 11 for his last 22 at the plate.
The numbers on Suarez, but it's really a difference between home and road. Home, he's 4-4 with a 3.07. Out on the road, 2-5 with a 5.55 ERA.
Touches the bottom of the strike zone there. 1-1. Suarez, a 25-year-old, and there's his arsenal. He gets a lot of ground balls.
Yeah, he's 4th in the major league ground ball percentage. 52.9% ground balls. The leader, we actually just had surgery about a week ago, Clayton Richard. 57%, almost 58% of the time ground balls.
Former Rocky on there, Tyler Chatwood as well. Tyler's always on that list. One for 6 against Suarez. And that is on the corner. 3-2. Good
Really,
take.
Yeah, and not a pitch you want to swing at 3-1 because you'll roll over into that shift and hit a ground ball. Going back out there again.
And Charlie lines it, but it's right at Joe Panic. 1 out. Let's take a look at the Giants defensively this evening. Brandon Crawford's not in the lineup. He's been nursing a sore knee. Alan Hansen's getting the start there. Panic is working with him. Longoria and Belt, the 2 veterans on the corners. Shaw, Gorkis Hernandez, Austin Slater in the outfield. And Nick Hundley caught the first 2 ball games. This is Aramis Garcia from South Florida. He's behind the plate. 1 out. Here's DJ.
Oh.
Suarez is from the University of Miami.
A 2nd-round pick in 2015 for the Hurricanes.
This ball's lined toward the gap in right center field. Touch and go. DJ takes a look, and he's thinking 3 bags. He's got to pick it up. He is in with a triple. First triple of the year for LeMahieu. That extra 90 feet with 1 out is huge.
That's because the ball got stuck in the padding underneath, right on the warning track. Goes the opposite way on the Subaru Supermo, so you know it's going to be a double off the bat. But he keeps his eye. Now just watch what happens to this baseball out there. It sticks. So it takes that extra second for Gorkis Hernandez to go get it. This allows DJ to go all the way to 3rd. Be in scoring position for Nolan right away.
And Nolan on the inside corner takes a strike. You know, Nolan's batting average kind of jumped out at us today because it's at 299. And he has not been under 300 in a long time.
They go way back to the middle of April before the last time it was under 300. And that day it was at 289. Then he got 3 hits and it jumped back up to the 320. So it was just one day, April 13th, where it's like, back above.
Yeah,
so I'm just saying it's going to be back up above after tonight.
Yeah, he's due. Just 1 ribby the last 7 games, and he's going to get 1 here, you would think. Here comes DJ. The throw from Shaw is offline and cut off. And that is RBI number 93 for Nolan, and he ties up the ball game at 1 after that LeMahieu triple. Good job for Arenado.
Think about all the work the Giants had to do to score their 1 run. A lot of traffic out there. 3 batters later, the Rockies tie it up.
Quick strike offense.
Yeah, and he gets the changeup just off the end enough on the Subaru Supermo to hit it out to left field. Shaw, DJ tagging up. He comes home pretty easily.
Trevor takes a strike. 72 extra base hits for Trevor Story, third most in the National League. And this is down the right field line, and it's going to be a foul ball.
Trevor wasn't sure out of the box. He stood and then he decided, I better run a little bit. Then he kind of stopped, seeing that there was going to slice foul.
Yeah, some similarities, at least in terms of experience at the major league level, between Suarez and Senzatella. Tonight is Andrew Suarez's 25th start in the big leagues all this year, and Senzatella making his 28th. Senza has worked a little bit out of the bullpen, as we were describing.
His numbers suggest starting for Antonio just early in his career here.
Yeah, 2-2. And that's how he views himself.
Yeah, well, as a reliever, guys were hitting over 300 against him. As a starter, below 250.
Two-two. And that ball's crushed deep left field. Take a good look. You won't see it for long. In fact, on a hop, it may have left the ballpark. 2-1, Colorado.
People aren't going to believe this when they see this ball where it goes, because what happened to Trevor after he hit it.
29th home run for Story. Rockies take the lead. Second time he's victimized Suarez.
Watch this on this swing. Watch him fall, Drew, on the Subaru Supermo. His spikes lead. That's 110 miles an hour off the bat as he watches it go onto the concourse from his backside. Are you kidding me? I thought he was hurt for a second.
Now I just pick myself up and jog. You kidding me? He's right. Wow. Here's Holiday with a 1-0 count. Where's that tweet again? It's good luck to give them a run in the first. That ball went an estimated 459 feet.
I'm still marveling at that.
Ball and 2 strikes on Matt. There's Vinny, Thunderhands. Remember he did the lineup yesterday? Trevor Thunderhands Story called him.
Well, there's some thunder in that bat.
Some thunder in the bat of the guy who's standing at the plate. Thunder forearms. Job by Matt.
One more look on that home run on the StatCast AI that's powered by AWS. We mentioned some of the particulars a moment ago. 110 miles an hour, that's worth repeating. Also the distance of 459 feet, that's worth repeating again too.
Gets away for a moment, and they'll complete the out at first. That ends the inning, but the Rockies take the lead triple by LeMahieu, fly ball to score him off the bat of Nolan, and then Trevor Story fell to the ground, but before he fell, he hit the ball 6 miles. It's what makes a Subaru by Dish Network, better TV for all, and by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees, that's transparency. And that's Trevor Story, hit yet another home run. Rockies down 1-0 after the top of the first, not an issue. LeMahieu a triple, he scored a few moments later on the line drive to left by Nolan, and then that absolute ball.
I still can't get over it. Yeah, he fell after the swing. I get all that, but still, to see the ball travel that far, and then a guy have to pick himself up out of the batter's box to then round the bases.
Stupid pop. That's what you call that.
John, I'm not sure if it went into the players' parking lot. We'll have to check on that.
Breaking ball misses. 2-1 on Gorky's Hernandez. It's now final in LA. 7-3. New York Mets over the LA Dodgers. So the Rockies move a full game ahead of LA. And they can go a game and a half up with a victory tonight. On the outside corner for a strike. 3-2. 7, 8, 9 for the Giants here in inning number 2. Out of play. Last year, Gorky's Hernandez had 348 plate appearances. He did not hit a home run.
Yeah.
He has 15 home runs, which is tied for the Giants club lead. And he just drew a walk.
Yeah, with Evan Longoria, both of those guys have 15. Some home runs in back-to-back games and a walk the first time up tonight.
We'll bring up Aramis Garcia. Grew up in Hialeah, Florida, South Florida, and then went to Florida International.
He started the year in Double-A, spent the majority of the minor league season in Double-A.
Can't have that in your back pocket, so he's going to have to throw that away. Not literally, just to the back away.
What was that?
Almost looked like what, pine tar rag that he stuffed in his back pocket.
Remember Remember growing up, the players used to fold their hats up and put it in their back pocket?
Yeah.
Huh? Let's go way back.
And the brim was just flat ugly.
Yeah, it was.
Well, you go way, way back, and they wore their hat fielding, and they came to the plate without a helmet on.
But I'm just talking about in the 70s, 80s, that players fold their hat up, put it in their back pocket.
Low throw, picked up by Desmond. Swung on and missed. I was chatting with Yency Almonte today, Huey, and Yency, is from Miami. His dad has an academy down there, and I asked him who he throws with, and he said he used to throw with his older brother, who got to AAA, who's a center fielder. He made him put the gear on, but he throws to Aramis Garcia quite a bit in the offseason. That was caught by Chris. He held on. 1 out.
For the Win is brought to you by Pizza Ranch. And how about a giant feat? Yeah, the Rockies are 16-2 against the Giants at Coors Field since 2017. And you can actually go back to the last game of 2016 and take it another step further. They're 17-2 in their last 19 against the Giants.
Up high on Suarez, ball 1.
That's always the one, that first pitch to the pitcher, as we see the best home record against the any opponent, divisional opponent, I should say. And the Rockies in their 16-2, Indians, Dodgers.
And again, no one team inside the division has dominated a team like the Rockies over the Giants, which you just wouldn't expect. I mean, year in and year out. I know the Giants had a bad year last year, but talking about a team that's won 3 world championships the last few years. Suarez gets the bunt down, so Hernandez to second, and that'll bring up Joe Panic, who hit just a little blooper over Trevor Story's head for a single to open the ball game, and he would score. And this is right at DJ, easy play. And Sensatello, despite walking the leadoff man, is not hurt by that. The Rockies have a 2-1 lead as we go to the bottom of the second at Coors Field. Out of Taco Bell locations the next day between 4 and 6 to get your Rockies Taco Special. Liv Moss at Taco Bell. Rockies up 2-1 as they hit here in the bottom of the second. Drew Goodman, Jeff Houston, Ryan Spilborghs. Andrew Suarez to Ian Desmond down low in the dirt. 1-0. Desmond, Cargo, and Chris Iannetta.
Well, Suarez had come into the game without giving up a run in his last 2 starts, both of those 7-inning performances against Texas and the New York Mets.
Yeah, you know what's interesting about that, Jeff, is that prior to those 2 starts, which, as you know, given the numbers out, they were beautiful starts. This is on the ground to short, and Hanson will throw out Desmond. They were contemplating maybe shutting him down because he's a young pitcher and they felt like he might have a tired arm. They went with him 1 more and he goes 7 shutout. And they said, well, if you throw 7 shutout, you get the baseball again. Then it's another 7 shutout. There's Derek Rodriguez from last night, and Jeff Samardzija with the club. Brandon Crawford on the left. It's the all-hair group. And they might as well be a rock band, right?
That's right. Those great hair bands from the 80s.
Cargo had a nice at bat, didn't he? Late
Yeah,
last night?
it was good. It was, I don't know, in the latter part of the game, kind of a key moment.
I liked how he described it afterward in the clubhouse. You know, he was frustrated. He struck out his first couple of times. Hit the ball hard his 3rd time up, but it was right at Joe Panic. And he said, this is what you remind yourself why you come to the ballpark every day. And he played a little cat and mouse game, didn't he?
Yes, he did, because, you know, he looked at that, you know, a couple pitches in that he fouled off, and then I think he was looking away. And that was not a bad pitch from Ty Block, but Cargo went down there. It was outer, and that just allowed him to get his arms extended.
And he kind of moved off the plate subtly, hoping that this ball's a roller to second, hoping that the Giants would notice that.
And then
go away. And of course, that's where Cargo wanted the baseball, and he came through. It's a huge swing of the bat. 2-2 ball game, and Cargo arrives in 3rd, and the Rockies are up 5-2 and on their way. 2 outs in the second. Here's Iannetta. This is good play by Longoria. He had to kind of smother that in between hop. So 3 ground balls, Andrew Suarez's specialty. We'll go to the 3rd. The Rockies up 2-1 on the Giants. cast your vote. This is my favorite night of the year. It's Spilly's birthday. So how would you like Spilly to celebrate? A cake in the face, which is always a perfect option. Eat Rocky Mountain oysters, or another popcorn bath as he took last night. What's the matter? Is that from last night?
A popcorn, bad popcorn last night?
It was good popcorn.
You know, I saw on Twitter late last night or this morning, I cannot recall, that there were some people, rightfully so, that were really pleased that you cleaned up after yourself at the top of the stadium. Well done, because this place is immaculate and we want to keep it that way.
I tried to keep it clean. I mean, I was always taught to pick up what you left, and that's exactly what I did.
And make it a little better than it was before you arrived.
You're pretty comfy out there. Can we get you anything?
A cake to the face. I'm going to refrain from the Rocky Mountain oysters. It should be a fly ball to cargo, which makes me happy.
Alan Hansen makes the catch.
So
Depending
on
on
the vote, hold on, let me just ask a question, because if I have to wait for people to vote and the results don't come in until the post-game show, I'm out of here. So can we get to the results a little earlier? I must ask everyone at home to vote.
No, they'll vote. If you ask them, they'll vote.
You didn't catch that. You didn't catch that.
You may not like the
mustache.
You to vote.
Acid, talking about his mustache is what he said.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You didn't catch that.
I didn't know.
I got you, Spilly. I got you, bud.
With Spilly, you know I only pay limited attention.
Fair enough.
Right?
Fair enough.
But I'm all in tonight because it's our boys.
Birthday,
it's
39.
his birthday.
That's, you know, some people, that's a tough one.
It is. I'm not gonna lie. It is a little bit of a tough one. My wife, when she saw me this morning, Stacy said, "You're old." That was not kind. The kids said, "I can't believe you're gonna be 40 next year," and I was like, "That's not kind either." And then you guys just wearing me out, so it's great.
You're having a great day. That's what we're here for.
Amazing.
Wait till we show you what we have in store for you later. Antonio Senzatella is ahead 1-2 on Evan Longoria. And that is fair down the right field line. Cargo's going to try to hold Longoria to single, not going to be able to.
Well, you have to be extra careful down in that corner, too, that doesn't scoot by you and then start to go around that curve. Longoria just kind of reaches out. Yeah, he doubled down there yesterday, too.
Now you got Brandon Belt up. He had a sharp single to center his first time. Belt, a career .319 hitter at Coors Field with 10 home runs. I got one for you that is really hard to believe. Do you know that the Giants are the only team in Major League Baseball this year that do not have a player that has at least 20 home runs, and they're not even close?
Two guys, 15.
Right. You got Longoria, who's at second with 15. You have Gorky's Hernandez, again, who didn't hit any home runs last year, has got 15. Belt has 14. I mean, think about that. You know, we're in the home run strikeout era, and the Giants don't have a player even close to 20 home runs. And it's not just, folks, this year. The last time that they had a player hit 20 or more home runs in a season was 2015, when Brandon Crawford hit 21.
The Rockies have 4 guys that have 20.
Right. I get it. AT&T is not a hitter's park. Tough to hit, you know, a high volume of home runs if you're not named Bonds there.
You know, this year 121 as a club, 28th in baseball. Last year they were last in the major leagues. They had only 128 home runs last year, and they were trailing by 33. I mean, the next closest team had 33 more.
0-2. Ball cuts inside. 1-2. You know, Senza in this game early on has gotten ahead of most hitters. He doesn't, or hasn't, I shouldn't say doesn't, but he hasn't had that pitch yet tonight, that swing and miss pitch, that dirty pitch to finish a guy.
Right, and that's still one of the challenges for Antonio. know about his fastball and his fastball command. I think he goes as a little bit deeper into the game. He goes away from the fastball, more to the off-speed pitch when he starts to have a better feel for it, better command. But I think with the day off tomorrow, though, this might be, you know, hey, try to give me 5 plus, maybe even to the 6, and then you piecemeal it and you figure out how to get it done with the day off before you go into the Dodger series. I still think the only guy down tonight would be O. You know, he's throwing a lot, or if it is, maybe one hitter.
Yeah, and maybe Wade also.
Yeah, and maybe Wade. That's what I'm saying. You know, you're trying to factor all of this in. And I know it's just early. I'm just kind of thinking along with the manager, thinking ahead.
Listen, September becomes October when you're in it, and you do everything you can to win the ball game that day. 2-2 on Bell. Longoria at second. And this is what happened in his last at bat. He got ahead of him 0-2. And next thing you know, Bell got up in the count. That's where the slider, you know, has to really develop that, or you know, his changeup's pretty good, but to be able to get the swing and the miss with it.
Yeah, you got to figure out that harder breaking pitch. You know, because something happens, the changeup doesn't quite, there's not enough differentiation there, then that could stay in the zone longer.
Got him. They got him with the changeup away. 2 outs. Well, that's a big strikeout. It's just the second of the night. And now Sensatella will have to get Austin Slater.
Good movement on this pitch from Antonio, right out of the hands on the Subaru Supermo, and some run on it too.
Slater's been swinging the bat pretty well. 15 for his last 45 after an 0 for 15 slide. Had a single his first time up, and that's going to drive home the equalizer. Got it past Desmond. Cargo's throw to the plate, not going to be in time. So Longoria scores on the Slater base hit. He's got 16 RBIs, and it's 2-2.
Slater 2 for 2 tonight. You get Bell, and then this is almost like the ball Longoria hit. This ball is up just about mid-thigh on the Subaru Supermo, and you know, Desi's playing off the line and slices by him. Nice diving effort. Cargo did his best to make this close at the plate, but that was a perfect way you take your secondary lead. What Longoria did, he had movement. As soon as the ball was hit, he just continued into it.
Ball 1 on Chris Shaw. He had a fly ball to Cargo to end that first inning. Slater's 5 out of 5 swiping bases, and overall the Giants 20 out of their last 22. Downstairs with that changeup. That was well located.
So they've gone upstairs and then back downstairs, really making Shaw think about where they're going next. They got him in the hands over that fly ball to right field. First time up.
And a strikeout of Shaw to end the inning. But there was a double by Longoria and a 2-out single by Slater. And we're tied at 2, middle of 3.
That happened last night. Tony Walters swinging through a pitch, tossing his bat. Gerardo Parra, the lucky recipient, picked it up and returned his bat, something I've never seen before. Tossing it about 80 feet with an apex of about 30 feet in the air. Tony ended up catching that bat. Thought it was great. Ha 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 ha, that's me. I still have never seen anything like that in all my years playing baseball or covering the game, seeing somebody toss a bat back to his teammate. I love Gerardo. Gerardo's the best, guys.
They're working on their handshake right now.
Yeah, that one needs a little more work.
Oh, man, got Charlie. Oh, no.
It did hit him in the helmet. He didn't have time to react.
He didn't even move.
Look at that.
Oh my goodness, that right there. Look at. Charlie's trying to talk his way into staying in.
Well, I think they're going, you know, Scott Garrett's putting him through, you know, a form of concussion protocol.
That was scary.
Oh my goodness. And you remember all these guys, Todd used to stand even closer than Charlie, and Charlie's kind of moving back right now. He's moving way back.
I don't blame him.
But I'm actually amazed that that doesn't happen a little more frequently. I'm not saying right in the helmet, but where guys get hit on the open side.
Well, too, because if you're on the open side, you're trying to time that pitcher, so you're not really watching that ball as it, you know, it's going off the bat of the batter. You're trying to think of your timing as that pitcher is making his delivery. But honestly, I mean, that was bad, but how lucky it was that it hit his helmet and not hit in the face.
Yeah, I got nothing for you. I'm still kind of semi-shock. And look at this. It's going to twist back. But the first pitch, he almost hit out.
I'm still, look at that mark on the helmet.
The scariest part, in addition to where it hit, is he's watching, and he's a world-class athlete with unbelievable reflexes and did not move. That's how fast that ball's traveling at him.
And that tells you why the safety nets were put above the dugouts. If an athlete like that could not react that fast to get out of the way, you know, the safety of the fans and the netting is so valuable.
I think he's going to save that helmet at the end of the season with that mark on it. May says he went.
There's a couple. I thought one yesterday, Chris Caccione called the runner to par out. I didn't think it was a strike. We'll take a peek on this one. Those are so difficult for the umpires. I think that one might have been a little bit further than the one yesterday with Gerardo.
Yeah, they're really difficult to tell. On the inside corner, a strike on DJ. He tripled to the gap in right center field. And that triple may not have fallen against the Giants earlier in the year. Here's why I say that. That's a strike. And I think you know where I'm going with this here.
Shift.
Because teams just moved everybody dramatically toward right, because DJ has a history of hitting the ball that way. He still does, but he's hit a lot of balls over the fence to left and left center this season. And because of that, you're seeing teams, they're still favoring the right side a little bit. The infield right now straight up for DJ. Hernandez a little bit towards right center, but not dramatically so.
Just kind of tells you that throughout the course of a season, then you'll start to see the shifts, especially after you have a number of at-bats against the team.
1-2. Knees, call strike 3 on LeMahieu. DJ thought that was down, or in, or both. 7 in a row retired by Suarez. We're tied at 2 going to the 4th. Tundra in your hometown Toyota stores, and by Dish Network, better TV for all. We go to the fourth inning, the Rockies 2 and the Giants 2. We want to point something out. I've had a couple of friends reach out to me as well who are more observant than I am, but where Charlie got hit was not that ball mark. Evidently that it looks like a ball mark on the top of his helmet to the left of the CR. That was already there, and Charlie, you know, he's pointing out it hit the brim and then kind of kicked up a little bit, so that mark was already on his helmet.
I didn't notice it the first at bat. I just assumed it was that mark from that rocket.
Yeah, I mean, I think you and I both, not unfairly, assumed that that had to be the mark. 1 ball, 1 strike. Gorkys Hernandez takes up 2-1. Two. You hope, and maybe what happened is because it hit that front brim, and you're talking about inches from, as you said, hitting him in the face, that, you know, that slows enough of the velocity down that when it, you know, hits the other part of the helmet's able to do its job, and
with that padding,
amazingly, he looks to be okay. This is popped up in the infield. DJ, Desi come around, and DJ takes it 1 out. I'll bring up Aramis Garcia. Fans, join in on the conversation tonight. We've been inviting you all year.
Tonight's the night.
Tonight's the night. Thoughts, comments, questions, photos. Use Twitter. Include the hashtag Toyota Talk. And please wish our friend in the first base Camberwell a happy birthday. It's Billy 39 today.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I posted a picture of you and I on Instagram.
Know, it's great. I'm not a big Graham guy, so I'll have to start.
So a lot of people, well, a lot of people wanted me to tell you happy birthday. So there you go.
Thank you.
I got it out there.
It's nice. Vote for the popcorn bat.
You don't want the cake in the face?
I don't know if that's not the one I'm.
Hey, our good friend Mike Farron.
Rocky Mountain Oysters.
That's what he wanted you.
Those look like chicken fingers. I'm mentally preparing myself for chicken fingers.
Yep.
Oh gosh. I know it's coming. That's great. That's awesome. I'm prepared.
It's probably going to be unanimous. This ball's well hit left center field, and it is gone. Second career home run for Aramis Garcia. He wasn't even sure. He stopped going around second. On an 0-2 pitch, he gives the Giants the lead again, 3-2.
Garcia has 4 hits in 7 at bats. 2 of them are home runs. In his first at bat, Major League at bat, he hit a home run. He connects with this fastball with the leg kick, get all the power behind it on the Subaru Supermo.
Strike 1 on Andrew Suarez.
So 7 hits given up tonight by Antonio.
DJ will come and get this. Suarez running hard. 2 outs. Check in with the 39-year-old Ryan Spilborghs, who's wearing 42-year-old boots.
Yeah, they're pretty old. I was talking to Noel Cuevas about one of his former teammates in high school. They played on the Florida Legends together, and that was Garcia. And he was saying that when you think about players' careers, Garcia had a facial fracture in the minor leagues, and to think about where somebody's gone from to get to the spot in the big leagues, you obviously pull for people like that. And Noel Cuevas, obviously friends with Derek Rodriguez, has another one in Garcia.
Yeah, and I mentioned earlier Yency Almonte down there in South Florida. All those guys know each other and work out together.
Yeah, Garcia had 47 minor league home runs in 371 games.
Panic lines this the other way. That's a fair ball. And panic into second with a double. It's one of those games where, yeah, you know, some balls been hit hard. Obviously, the Garcia ball was crushed. Some haven't, but bottom line is the Giants have 7 hits now in 3 2/3. Actually, let me correct that. 8 hits in 3 2/3.
But notice where this ball is, Drew. It might be away from Joe Panic, but it's up. If that's down, you're not able to stay on it as long, and so you probably hit it on the ground. Opportunity for a ground ball out. You know, Antonio needs to get the ball working back down at the knees.
Hansen a base hit and a fly ball to right field. Well located, 1 ball, 1 strike.
And that's what I'm talking about on the Subaru strike zone. Well located on the knees, working away. Because once it starts to, you start maybe at the knees, the ball had a natural tendency to start to sink more. If it's up, it stays flat. Just like that.
One and 2 on Hansen out of the Dominican Republic. He liked Sensa's chances of having a 1-2-3, and he gets Hernandez to pop out. He's ahead 0-2 on Garcia, the 8-hole hitter. He gets him. It's Hansen to end the inning here. And then you have the pitcher coming up. You have a great chance to have a quick 1-2-3 inning. But instead, the 0-2 pitch gets deposited in the seats. 3-2 San Francisco. The Aramis Garcia home run. The Rockies led the middle of the order in the 4th against Andrew Suarez, who's now retired 7 straight. Nolan a sac fly his first time up, and he takes the whole way. It's in there for a strike. Nolan with a .299 batting average. We were talking about this earlier. The first time since April he's been below 300. Just means he's fixing to get hot. He puts a lot of pressure on himself.
It does.
He's 4 for his last 32 at the plate.
Went through that stretch 0 for 19. For his longest of his career, just on that last road trip.
One and two. Rockies have a 4-game winning streak. It is the longest winning streak in the National League because you know what? It's September and teams are grinding and nothing comes easy. That 4-gamer leads the National League right now.
And that's what makes September baseball hard to read sometimes with all the different clubs. You know, some are in it, some are out of it. You got rookies playing against veterans. You don't know how they're going to react. You don't know scouting reports. Sometimes you don't have scouting reports on players or pitchers. You know, it's so hard to say, oh, yeah, on paper it looks like, you know, Team X should be Team Y.
Doesn't work that way. And that's a very defensive swing and panic with an easy play. There have been some uncharacteristic swings, if you will, by Nolan, and that one would fall into that category. Achieving more is brought to you by AT&T. Trevor Story keeps achieving a whole lot every time he walks to the plate, like the home run he hit in his first at bat that almost left the building. So here is where he is this year. He's tied for first in doubles, tied for, second by himself in total bases, the 72 extra base hits, third, fourth in ribbies. I mean, on and on and on. OPS is top 10 in the league. And we don't even really touch on defense other than his fielding percentage. Say he's third among National League shortstop, but you know, other metrics, the number of baseballs he gets to. This guy is a budding superstar. It's that simple. If he hasn't already arrived in that class, the numbers suggest he has.
I think making the All-Star team this year was a huge confidence boost for him. He's going to win a Silver Slugger. To me, he could easily win a Gold Glove. Nick Ahmed and Freddie Galvis are the other two shortstops that are ahead of him in straight fielding percentage.
He's going to garner MVP consideration. He's going to be in that conversation of a number of players, and you know, I think the ultimate victor in that will be determined over these next 3+ weeks. This ball's hit a long way again. That's number 30. Where will this one land? Concourse again. Are you kidding me? Those aren't just home runs. Those are moonshots.
I guess they think they can keep beating him inside. Last home run was 110 miles an hour off the bat. This one's 112 miles an hour off the bat. And just like that, it's tied up again. I mean, 2 concourse baseballs. The finish too. You know, he hits it, he watches it for a second, drops the bat, says, okay, I've got 30 on the year.
He just moved up the MVP consideration list a couple of notches. He's got 30 bombs. He's got 25 stolen bases. Holiday takes outside. He's got a 2-0 count.
Both those balls would have been out in the Grand Canyon. Those were mammoth shots.
He literally may have hit 2 balls into the parking lot.
Into the players' parking lot. Hopefully it didn't damage one of Vinny's cars. Separation from the stride in the hands and the coil. The Subaru Supermo.
Titanic blast. I was talking to a longtime member of the Giants organization today, and we were talking about Story, and he said flat out, he said, I thought he was going to be one of those guys that was, you know, a homer or an out. where, you know, he'd hit a bunch of home runs, but he'd strike out a ton. And that's strike 3 on Holiday. Matt didn't much like that call. 2 outs, tied at 3. That'll bring up Desmond. Finish the story after we look at the StatCast on this.
Yeah, brought to you by Subaru.
505.
I like it. Finally.
That's the longest home run hit in baseball this year, and maybe in a couple of years. I don't recall a 500-foot home run in the StatCast era, and if that holds up, it'll be the longest home run ever hit here at Coors Field, because the previous one was 2 years ago, hit by Giancarlo Stanton, that went an estimated 504 feet against Chad Bettis. One on Desmond. But in talking to, you know, a longtime friend in the Giant organization, he said, you know, it just appeared that he would be a guy that hit a bunch of home runs, but there'd be a lot of strikeouts, which there were last year.
Yeah.
And he's cut those strikeouts way down. And guys said, now this guy's a really good hitter on top of being, you know, a power guy.
Because he also has the speed then too. Just get the ball in play. You know he's going to be able to hit the ball out of the ballpark. Turned himself into a complete hitter. Well, there's a couple times this year where you get 2 strikes on him and hit the ball to right field. You know, just cut down the swing. I thought the swing yesterday against or Monday against Madison Bumgarner cut down that swing that he hit the ball out on.
This is bounced toward the middle of the diamond. Hansen will get Desmond to end the inning. Trevor Story's done it again. He's tied this ball game at 3 with a 505-foot home run. He's pretty good. T-Mobile, built for baseball. Folks, this is a really special moment before the ball game. One of, if not the most prestigious award in baseball is the Roberto Clemente Award for community service and going way above and beyond. There are 30 nominees. Each team gets one, and Ian Desmond was the Rockies' nominee for all that he does in the community. And think about this. Desi was that way in Washington. In fact, earlier this year, Jeff Houston spent some time with Desi as this ball is lined to center field for a base hit by Evan Longoria.
Yeah, we went to the academy in Washington that he's helped facilitate and foster for some of the kids there. Just a neat facility. And I talking to Desi yesterday, he was beaming ear to ear as far as being nominated for this award, because it's not just going out and, you know, shaking some hands and kissing some babies and taking a photo op here and there. It involves a lot more than that.
No, it's guys who are dug in. It's guys that it's part of their constitution, and there's a lot of philanthropic guys in the sports world, certainly in Major League Baseball. But Desi was honored by that, and it just speaks to who he is and all he's done in every community that he's been a part of. The DC one for a long time, obviously. A year in Texas, he had that reputation, and he stays involved. Because Jeff, I know when you came away, even though he doesn't live in Washington anymore, obviously doesn't play in Washington anymore, he's still involved there, and he's jumped right in with his family here in Denver. So again, a big congratulations to Desi, and there is one, big winner, if you will. The communities all win. That'll be announced later on.
And for the Giants, it was Buster Posey who got the nomination. So congratulations to Buster Posey and all the guys that have been nominated. I mean, that's great for the sport of baseball. It's great for humanity and these neighborhoods and the communities that these guys are in.
Yep. Anthony Rizzo won it last year, and he said in an interview I saw just a couple of days ago that all the awards Anthony Rizzo's won for his playing, he said that award by far means more than anything else. 3-2. Bell at the plate, Longoria at first. It's a 3-3 game. You're probably in a situation, you said 5 or 6. If your buddy just hope that Senza can get through this 5th inning. His number's coming up next inning, and that's ball 4. Now you have 2 on, nobody out.
I think you're going to get some action now down in the bullpen. Well, fans, you can catch the Rockies take on the Diamondbacks Monday, September 10th through September 13th with the Coca-Cola Value Pack. Get 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 Cokes, parking, and more, all for only $59 or $79, depending on seat location.
Yency Almonte, chatting about earlier a couple times. Yency's now up. Dougie did a little research on that Story home run.
Yeah.
That's the longest home run, period, anywhere in the StatCast era, which started in 2015. I know we're not talking about going back to 1869, but still.
Think about Stanton, you think about Judge, some of the home runs that they've hit. You have the longest.
Got almost 1,000 feet of home run tonight. 1-0 on Slater, who has 2 hits and an RBI tonight.
He went
1-1. Slater fouls it off. And the pattern in this game is Senza, he gets ahead. It's being able to close out hitters.
Yeah, the finish. Finish of the hitter. It doesn't have to be a strikeout per se.
We get the weak contact 0-2, 1-2.
Exactly.
Or a swing and miss here and there. Did he go? No. 3-2. 2-2, I should say. strike three. Big punch out there from Senza.
Right at the bottom of the Subaru strike zone, right at the knees. Caught him looking too. That's it. When the ball's down, it has some run to it, some sink. And clearly, it was right at the knees on the Subaru Supermo.
Here's Chris Shaw, fly ball to right and a strikeout. Supplemental first-round pick out of Boston College.
Pretty long swing by Shaw.
Not unusual, Huey, is it, for young power
No.
guys when they first come up?
No, it's not, because you know you can have that long swing against guys that aren't throwing quite as hard, or that can spot their pitches as well. Just creates a lot of holes. When you connect, it goes a long way.
We saw that the other day. But he also struck out 8 times, 12 major league at bats. I keep looking out on that concourse. I'm like, wow. And this is a cool night. This isn't 98 in the middle of the summer.
Yeah, where you get an extra 10 or 15 feet. No, that's. Then you wonder how far it would have gone on one of those hot nights. Dry air.
Oh, big jump by Longoria.
Well, he was just reading it because the batter before with Slater and then Shaw, Antonio really wasn't looking back to second base. He had only glanced back one time in the previous 7-8 pitches. So Longoria started to just time it. When he came set, he would just take off. But with one strike, got the foul ball, so worked out in the Rockies' favor.
Two, swung on and missed. 2 outs. Sixth strikeout for Senzatella, and now you got to deal with Hernandez.
Well, he just kept climbing the ladder, and Shaw couldn't lay off. Tied him up upstairs.
Ortiz Hernandez, a walk and a pop out. All of a sudden, you know, you used to point to Buster Posey, #1, you know, Brandon Bell. Giant guy you fear the most these days is that guy.
Oh, this with his 7 home runs this year against the Rockies.
Center field, Charlie going back, and he'll make the play. Well, it started with 2 men reaching, and then Senzatella a couple of strikeouts and a fly ball. Well done by Antonio. We're tied at 3. Cargo will lead it off at the bottom of the 5th. And Antonio Senzatello worked his way out of that little jam in the 5th. Time for At the Dish, brought to you by Dish Network. Carlos Gonzalez coming up. He's batting in the 7th position tonight against the left-hander. Longest hitting streaks against one team. Todd Helton hitting 26 straight against the Padres, a team that drafted him in the 2nd round out of high school. Matt Holliday 24 straight back in the day against the Mets over several years in Cargo. Looking to match what Holliday did. He's hit in 23 straight against the Giants. Tonight 0 for 1, ground ball to 2nd. Rockies have only 3 hits. Trevor Story's 2 home runs to Fort Collins and to Greeley. And the triple by DJ LeMahieu.
Which one? The first one went where? Fort Collins or Greeley?
Yeah, well, the first one went more toward Fort Collins, and the second
yeah,
one
because
a little bit more towards Greeley.
Yeah, towards the right a little bit.
Yeah. One and 2. 459 feet on the first home run according to StatCast, and the second one, the longest in the StatCast era, 505 feet, 964 feet a home run. You really should get 3 homers out of it.
You should.
Cargo loops this one to center field. Hernandez is there.
Well, support your Rockies and paint the town purple with the latest fall weather gear, player merchandise, and special gifts with a purchase at Rockies dugout stores.
Chris Iannetta, ground ball to 3rd. Chris had some big hits in the last week. Double off the wall in San Diego. Double Monday night off the wall against the Giants.
You know, late in the ball game, and I mean, one of those ones too where you really obviously needed him, and he came through clutch.
Tom Murphy's come out in the on-deck circle.
Yeah, Harrison Musgrave up and getting loose in the Rockies pen.
Two balls and a strike on Iannetta. Chris has hit .316 against San Francisco in his long career. I think it's always impressive when you have a .300 average in the big leagues against anybody, but when it's against San Francisco, like LeMahieu, Desmond, Iannetta, Nolan, because half the games are at AT&T, and that's ball 4. And the Giants always have pitching, right?
Yeah. And yet these guys coming through with the .300 average plus. That will be Tom Murphy pinch hitting. Murphy 2 for 10 on the year, including a home run as a pinch hitter.
His first walk allowed by Suarez. So Senzatello gives up 3 runs on 9 hits. This is down the line. Longoria makes a great play. And he gets the force at 2nd. Off the bat, I thought that was going to sneak down that 3rd base line. Good play by Evan Longoria.
Well, and then he knew who was running at first, so he had the option to go to 2nd base. So you're able to plant and stick that right foot into the ground. Just watch the right foot as it goes in the ground right here on the Subaru Super Bowl. That allows you to stop and get back on top of the baseball so you can give Panic a good feed. Tom hustling down the line to beat it out. A different helmet for Charlie.
Yeah, that's a brand new helmet.
Rip that out of the plastic wrapping.
One strike on Charlie. 2 outs. Manfred first. Charlie scored 100 runs this year. That leads the National League. Last year he led the league with 137 runs. Also drove in 104 in one of the greatest seasons ever for a leadoff man.
Talk to the guys about Suarez and kind of the arm angle, what they're seeing at the plate. He's pitched against the Rockies 2 different times coming into tonight. He's only given up 4 runs in 12 innings, 3 ERA. If it wasn't for Trevor's home runs tonight, he's doing pretty good.
It's off the end of the bat foul. Well, for years it was Matt Cain, it was Mad Bum, it was Lincecum. You guys know the names. And now they're in somewhat of a transition. And a couple of the new names, Derek Rodriguez, who was a minor league free agent. I'm just shocked that that guy was not kept by the Twins. And then this young man, was, he's a high pick, but he's arrived. He's thrown the ball well. Tied at 3 as the Rockies bat in the bottom of the 5th. These last 2 years, 22-12 against the Giants. Bouncer, the belt at 6'4", leaps for and makes the grab and touches the bag. Rockies had a walk, a man left. We'll go to the 6th. 3 apiece. The Kubota pitching performance. Well, Antonio Sensatella showed his toughness tonight. He hung in there because there were 11 base runners against him in 5 innings, which is a ton. But he limited the Giants to 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position. So he gives up just 3 runs and he keeps his club even with the Giants as we go to the 6th. And it'll be Harrison Musgrave, the former University of West Virginia star.
Harrison was recalled on Saturday. A couple different stints. Last time he pitched was down in Houston on that road trip. Go back to Antonio for a moment. You know, I thought last inning too, it could have spiraled on him. You get the base hit, then you the walk. You go first and second. Oh no! But then a strikeout, and a fly ball to center field is able to wiggle his way out of it.
You know, we see these guys every day, and you get a good feel watching them compete every day, and you know how tough Senzatella is. But you know, to your point, he was really on full display today because he'd get ahead, couldn't finish hitters. You know, there were some soft hits, there were some hits that were, you know, legitimately clicked pretty hard. There were a couple of walks in there, but he hung tough.
That he did without really a secondary pitch. A few times a good changeup, few times, and I say few, and I mean it with the slider. You know, I write notes in my book every night about the starting pitcher, kind of what he had, so I can go back and look at it. Tonight it'll be, he had a good fastball, but the off-speed pitches weren't there tonight, but he gutted his way through a performance.
Gave up a home run to this man, Aramis Garcia's second career home run. Been a big leaguer a little more than a week. They have two guys in the lineup tonight that their first hit was a home run. Garcia strikes out here against Musgrave. Garcia and Chris Shaw the other day. One out. And it'll be Andrew Suarez.
I think that's what he's thinking too with Harrison Musgrave. You know, he knew he was going to face the right-hander in Garcia, but then you got Suarez, you got Joe Panic, and then flipping Alan Hansen to the right side if it gets to him, because Hansen's hitting 194 right-handed compared to 287 left-handed.
Trevor, he's doing everything today.
Back it
Ball
up.
gets by, he's got it. Perfect throw to the dugout, right in the entryway.
What can he do, right?
Nothing. He's got it all. I'll tell you what he can't do. As great an arm as he has, and he used to throw 95 coming off shortstop at Irving High to close out games. He can't throw the ball as far as he hit it tonight.
I was going to say, he can't throw it 505 feet.
Nope, doesn't have that in his game. Suarez did much like that at bat against the lefty Musgrave. 2 strikeouts for Harrison. Harrison Musgrave in college matched up one Friday night with John Gray with a ton of scouts there, and final score WVU 2, Oklahoma 1.
How many times do you hear in recruiting that they went to go look at somebody else? Not to say Harrison wasn't on the map, but I guarantee you everybody was looking at John. Wow, that almost got some guys in the Giants dugout. So anyway, they're talking about, hey, let's go see you know, Jimmy over here, and then Jimmy's playing against Tommy. All of a sudden they look up and, hey, Tommy's having a pretty good game. I like him. And then Tommy gets drafted.
It happens. And, you know, again, Harrison Musgrave was pitcher of the year in the Big 12.
No, I'm not saying that.
No, but there are other guys are found.
An example.
Yeah, you're right. Guys are found. I really like the one where they go to see Tommy, and then Billy Bob is the guy that ends up being the star. Nobody knew about Billy Bob.
You like Billy Bob, okay.
Yeah.
Just try to throw out the generic name, that's all, and you go with the Billy Bob.
Well, Billy Bob, you know, in certain parts of the country is a common name. Billy Bob Thornton.
Oh.
Billy Bob Spilborgh's Ryan's cousin.
Not his birthday, though.
No.
It's our Billy's birthday.
Billy Bob Spilborgh's. You know, this is a real story. My parents almost named me Rodolfo.
Hold on, we got to come back to that. Holiday in deep left center field. Good job by Matt. Good route to the baseball. Excellent inning from Musgrave. We will come back to what Spilly was almost named in a moment. 3-3. AT&T Sportsnet is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. Cargo bear hugging Trevor Story, giving him some love because Trevor's hit 2 balls that should have counted twice for home runs. A 458-footer and a 505-footer if you're just joining us. Rockies and Giants tied at 3. The Rockies looking to sweep San Francisco. LeMahieu against Suarez, and this is bounced slowly to third. And Longoria makes another pretty good play.
What I don't want to hear about that home run of 505 feet, you're going to cue the, well, it was at Coors Field. That's what I don't want to hear. Because after witnessing that ball, doesn't matter where he hit it, because he hit that so far and so loud. But you know what's going to happen.
I'm not worried about that. I watched that one. Here's Nolan, sac fly and a ground ball to second. And this ball's well hit to center field. Hernandez going back and will make the catch on the warning track. Long out, 2 gone. Here's the story that Trevor's penned this evening. Watch his body, folks, on this first home run. He fell down, and look where the ball landed. 1 hop on the concourse and adios. And then the next one, he stayed upright. And this one, also on the concourse.
Double chapter of concourse home runs.
Longest home run in Coors Field history. And this ball's high and deep left field. How about number 3? Are you kidding me? What a night, and it's not over yet. 3 swings, 3 home runs.
Go ahead and smile. It's okay. You can smile. You kind of run out of words. They want a curtain call. Give it to him, Trevor. Give it to him.
This is worthy of a curtain call. It just came out. Holiday bounces it to the left side. Matt's aboard. I mean, he didn't waste any time.
No, some guys who go up there their 3rd time say, well, they're not going to throw me another pitch down there, right? So I'll just go ahead and take this first one.
That was a cheapie, though. It only went 416 feet.
So what's the total of his 3 tonight now?
Like a marathon,
well,
or like a 10K.
Yeah,
All right, maybe a marathon's a little far.
Out and try to figure it out.
Here's the deal. Matt's going to come out now. Parra will go in and pinch run and then stay in the game in left field. So Holiday continues to do his thing. Matt 1 for 3. Making a big impact here in September for the Rockies. As is that man off the bench, Gerardo Parra.
Got the distances. I'll give, or the distant. I'll give it to you after this pitch. First one, we know 505. Or the first one 459. The second one was 505. Then that last one just a mere 416. So it's 1,380 feet of home run tonight.
And he is going to get at least 1 more at bat to join that really exclusive club. Desmond grounds out. That'll end the inning. The Rockies have the lead. Basically, it's Trevor Story 4 and the Giants 3. Crazy night for Story. In the 7th inning, the Rockies have a 4-3 lead. The Rockies have 5 hits. Andrew Suarez has pitched well against 8 guys. Trevor Story has hit 3 monstrous home runs. Second inning for Harrison Musgrave, and a bunt right back to him. He gobbles and flips to Ian Desmond, 1 out. That retires Alan Hansen. One of the more important topics of tonight, in addition to what Story has done, is we're going to get a pitching change. You're off the hook for a second, Spilly, because it's happy birthday Ryan Spilborgh's, his 39th birthday. And we had 3 options as to what we should give Ryan. We're going to get back to that in a moment, because Harrison Musgrave's going to be removed here after getting 4 outs, doing a terrific job. We'll tell you about that and what Spilligus gets next. Swung it well tonight throughout his career, 2 for 3. And it'll be Yency Almonte to face him. Oh, well, let's get back to Spilly here. Spilly, how you doing?
I'm all right.
Yeah.
Taylor brought me a gift, and I'm assuming that the Rocky Mountain Oysters won. Now,
Yeah, but it was really close.
how close was it?
It was really close.
Not
Eat
close
Rocky Mountain Oysters, 45%. 40% of the people wanted to. Oh, you got. Whoa. Oh, my goodness. Who is that? Was that Taylor also? Taylor.
She got all 3.
Yeah, why not? I
That was
thought
good.
Taylor almost like broke your nose with that.
It was like a foul ball on the on deck circle.
Spilly, here's the deal. If Almonte gets out Longoria, you can't clean up for the rest of the night. All right?
I haven't cleaned up in a long time, and I know the San Francisco Giants guys are having a good time with this too. Kirk and Kyber.
Yeah, it's pretty good, isn't it? Tastes like chicken.
What is a Rocky Mountain oyster?
You don't want to know.
We'll get back to you on that.
Listen to Taylor still laugh.
First of all, folks, you have to know, we'll let you. Taylor McGregor could wake up Cheyenne from here with her laugh. She's got a beautiful laugh. Am I right, Taylor? That's inside. 2-2.
Rocky Mountain oysters aren't that bad.
No, they're great. They're good for you, too. Especially when you're an older guy like yourself. Swung on and missed.
Slider.
Great slider from Almonte. And Longoria's gone 2 outs in the 7th. Hey, Spilly, you never finished the story. You were Adolphus almost? What was your name?
So my dad, he grew up in Santa Barbara. He was a hippie. Let's say what it is. And he wanted an R name. His name was Rene. And so it was between Rudolfo. That was the name that my dad and my mom were actually considering, or my mom was like, seriously, go for Ryan. It's more Americanized. So
now, is Rodolfo Belgian?
I don't know. I think it has some Belgian ties, but could you imagine, you know, Rodolfo Spielborg's rounding the bases?
Doesn't have the same ring to
ring.
it. No, it doesn't. You'd have been Rudy. You'd have been Rudy Spielborgs.
Oh, man.
You're a bigger mess than you normally are right now.
This is awesome.
Bell.
What a birthday.
Takes a strike. Welcome to your 39th year. Don't ever grow up. This ball's in the air to Cargo. Yency Almonte, Harrison Musgrave doing their thing. Everybody involved. That's what it will take to win the NL West. The Rockies up 4-3. Beautiful, Billy. Beautiful. Great job by Yency Almonte, 2/3 of an inning. Gets congratulations from Buddy Black. Strikeout of Evan Longoria. And you may be surprised a little bit that Almonte, who was a guy that was up for about a month and would pitch like once a week, and he did a good job. But you may be surprised, you know, Buddy's called on him twice in critical situations. Cargo fouls off Suarez's first pitch. But I talked to Buddy about it yesterday, and he said, you know, this kid, he showed me a lot. He showed me poise. He showed me a plus fastball, a nice developing slider, and just his presence and how he's handled things in terms of not being overwhelmed by being in the big leagues initially. He's called on him twice in September pennant race baseball, and that young man has stepped up.
Yeah, in the 6th inning of the game on Monday, had a strikeout in that game and didn't seem intimidated at all.
Cargo rips it through the right side. He's got a 24-game hitting streak, and he's going to turn this into a double. 24 straight against the Giants. A leadoff double late for Cargo after a huge triple late in the evening yesterday to give the Rockies a win.
This ball was scorched off the bat. It beats the shift. No matter, you could have 4 guys over there on the Subaru Supermo. He hit it so hard they wouldn't have been able to get it. And then Slater slides to try to knock it down and keep it. Cargo was hustling the whole way.
And listen, you want to know what time of year it is? You see Cargo fist bump at the end.
Exactly.
You said
it's 4-3 right now.
And a reminder that earlier the Mets in Los Angeles knocked off the Dodgers 7-3.
You got to get, if you're Chris, Cargo's got to be at third base when this at bat's over too, if not in.
Garrett Hampson's come out in the on-deck circle.
Well, those are close. That second pitch on the Subaru strike zone was real close. Well, he had Noel Cuevas up on the on-deck circle just before he brought Hampson out. Mark Melanson up in the Giants bullpen. Scott Oberg in the Rockies bullpen. Golden high product, Mark Melanson.
If Melanson comes in, you could very well see Buddy go to a left-handed bat, because the lefties have really hit Mark hard this year.
Well, that's the strategy between Boch and Buddy. What's going to happen? Does he want Garrett Hampson if that's the case, or even he could pull him back and put Noel up there against Suarez, or do you want Dahl, McMahon, one of those guys up against Melanson?
That misses. Iannetta with that outstanding eye. You know, and even if you have to burn a player, again, it's September baseball. You have an expanded roster, and you may want to. It's nothing against Noel Cuevas, but you may want to keep Hampson as a pinch runner back if you do have to burn somebody,
or if
to get the lefty up.
Yeah, or if Chris gets it, then you put Hampson up to bunt.
That's a strike.
Second pitch on the Subaru strike zone was called a ball. That fifth pitch was further out, and it was called a strike.
Iannetta, boy, did a really good job. He was staying inside that no matter if it hit him or not.
That's right. It could have been 100 miles an hour, and he was still trying to stay inside. The hardest pitch right now at 3-2 to try to stay inside, because you want to hit it to the right side, is if he goes soft on you. If he goes to the curveball or the changeup.
Inside, ball 4, and now 2 on, and the bunt is what Buddy's going to be looking for here. Boch is going to come out. He's waiting for the announcement of Garrett Hampson.
Your attention, pitching for the Rockies in place of the pitcher on Monday, number 1.
Boch has got a little hitch in his get along. He's going to have hip replacement surgery at the end of the season. We'll take out Suarez, who really pitched exceptionally well, with the exception of one Trevor Story. 4-3 Rockies.
Stats, roster updates, and more. RBI Baseball 18 is available now. Learn more at RBIGame.com. Rated E for everyone. Both managers looking hard at their lineup card. First on the left, Bruce Bochy going to the right-hander, Mark Melanson. And then Buddy Black, he burned Garrett Hampson to get this matchup that he wanted. Opponents hitting 292, but Drew, you said it. Lefty's hitting 348 against Melanson this year. Right-handers 257. Of course, we know about Ryan McMahon and his heroics in last night's ball game to tie up the game as a pinch hitter in the 7th inning. And that propelled the Rockies to the 6-2 victory. They ended up going and scored 4 more runs after that.
A little chess maneuvering by Buddy, and he has the matchup he wanted. He's got a left-handed bat, a power left-handed bat with 2 on. Instead of playing small ball, Buddy's going to look for the loud inning. And Melanson touches the strike zone there. It's 0-1. Mark, of course, grew up in Golden. Had a rough go so far in San Francisco. He's battled some injuries. He's had an outstanding career. You know, coming into this year, lefties had hit only 208 against him. So the 348 is, you know, a departure from the norm. Oh, 2.
You can still cut that fastball. See the velocity right at 92. Used to throw a little bit harder, like a lot of guys younger in their career.
His 56 games with a strain in his flexor tendon in his elbow earlier this year.
He'll also throw a curveball, so if you're a base runner right now, if he bounces it, be ready.
He did not hold up. Wow, man. I thought he held up. Third base umpire Ben May said he went around. We'll see. This will give you a good idea. See, to me, that's a check swing.
I would agree completely. Sometimes you get fooled by the body going for it, but that's 2 tonight for Ben May, and the dismay of Bud's face kind of tells it all.
Charlie 0 for 3 tonight. Came into the ball game having 11 hits in his prior 21 at bats.
This is just the second at bat tonight for the Rockies with the runner in scoring position.
Suarez pitched great, except to Trevor Story. I don't even want to say he pitched badly to Trevor. Just Trevor hit 3 pitches, 18 miles. Lefties are 13 for their last 29 against Melanson. It's a guy who saved 51 games a few years ago. 51 in 2015, came back in 2016 with 47 more saves. Good block there by the young catcher Ramos Garcia. Fargo, a leadoff double. He's at second. Ionetta walk. Chris is at first.
A rough night for the body for Charlie. Literally from head to toe.
Well, here's what you may have missed. Charlie Blackmon with Antonio Senzatella hitting earlier in the evening. He's in the on-deck circle. Watch this. It hit him in the helmet, and amazingly, as Charlie's still in the game, he's fine. In fact, on the very first pitch he saw it, he hit a ball about 400 feet just foul. Inside, 2-1. Borderline pitch went Blackman's way. It's inside the Subaru strike zone. Rockies unbeaten in September. All have been come from behind wins. If the Rockies hold on here, this would be a come from behind win. It would be their 41st of the year. Charlie went there, it looked like. But
they didn't even ask
on that one. Or did he say?
No, he said he swung. Larry
he did say, okay.
Yeah, Larry said he swung. He didn't even have to.
Yeah, and I thought that was the right call.
Yeah, go down to Ben May at third.
And for a second, I just looked down at May and there wasn't an appeal. See, he went.
He went on that one.
Two and two. Rockies first couple of wins here against the Giants are now 36 and 30 at home. They have 40 road wins, which is the most in the National League, 40 and 32. Do you ever think you'd be saying that or hearing that in September of any season? Good swing.
And you still have 9 road games left.
You have 9 road games in the Rockies with the most home games left of any team in the National League. And they have gotten on a Lodo roll. 25 and 10 their last 35 ball games. At Coors Field.
That's over a 700 winning percentage.
That was after they lost 8 straight at home, amazingly. Good at bat from Blackman, 3-2.
The runners aren't going anywhere here with the open side. And Charlie, you don't really even need to give a sign to the guy. Stu just kind of put his hands out like, stop, don't even think about going.
Called strike 3. He was inside the Subaru strike zone. So Larry Vanover calls out Blackman. There are 2 outs. And DJ LeMahieu will come up.
DJ in his matchups with Melanson, 3 for 5. This is where that cutter that Mark likes to throw just stays on the same barrel plane as DJ's swing.
Ball 1 on LeMahieu. Triple to right center field in the first. The Rockies fell behind 1-0 after the top of the first, but then DJ tripled. He scored on an Arenado sac fly, and then Story hit the first of his 3 home runs. So the Rockies quickly went ahead 2-1. Since then, DJ strikeout looking and a ground ball to third. Base hit up the middle. Cargo around third. He will score. Iannetta will go first to third. LeMahieu gives the Rockies a 2-run cushion. You gotta love those 2-out ribbies. 5-3 Colorado.
Now 1 for 3 on the night with runners in scoring position, and for DJ 4 for 6 in his career against Melanson. I was talking about the cutter just staying on the same plane for DJ and how it just works out for his swing path. And again, DJ coming through. 50 ribbies now for DJ and a 2-run lead for the Rockies.
Also, the 997th hit of LeMahieu's career. short while ago. Good buddy Charlie Blackmon produced his 1000th career hit. Here's Nolan. And a bouncing ball to Hansen. The Rockies get a leadoff double by Gonzalez. They get another clutch hit from that man. LeMahieu brings them home. Rockies lead it by 2. By Southwest Airlines, low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. By Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo customers get your 2-for-1 Rockies club level tickets by visiting wellsfargo.com/Rockies. And by bond fees, it takes all types to save lives. Give blood. There is nothing more exciting than September baseball when you're in it. In the first place, Colorado Rockies have a 5-3 late night lead. Scott Oberg's going to be asked to handle the 8th inning. Adam Ottavino will be the closer tonight. Wade Davis worked the last couple of ball games, so he's down. The Rockies up 5-3 on a night where we have seen history from Trevor Story. 3 home runs tonight, and he will lead off, folks, in the bottom of the 8th. You do not want to miss that, AB. It'll be Austin Slater, Chris Shaw, and Gorkys Hernandez scheduled for the Giants against Oberg.
Well, it's nice too for Scott. He's had a few days off. He last pitched Sunday in San Diego.
Though he was up 3 times yesterday. So the slider's just off the plate.
So as a manager and a pitching coach, you kind of count that as almost being in the game. You're warming up 3 times. It doesn't go on the stat sheet as that, but that's something that managers and pitching coaches keep track of as well.
2-0. Two balls, 2 strikes on Austin Slater. Had a good night, 2 for 3, driven in a run. Three and 2, sliders down in the dirt. Senzatella gave the Rockies 5, worked out of a number of jams. Musgrave got 4 outs, a couple of strikeouts. Almonte 2/3 clean. It's up to Scott Oberg. Strikeout of Slater, out number 1 in the 8th, and that'll bring up Shaw.
Hey, fans, place a deposit on a 2019 ticket plan and guarantee an opportunity at the 2018 postseason tickets. For more information, go to Rockies.com/season tickets or call 303 Rockies for more information.
Oh and 1 on Shaw. 0 for 3, a couple of punch outs. Ray Black has got an enormous arm. He's warming up in the Giants bullpen. Former Pitt Panther. Usually think football. And hoops with University of Pittsburgh.
All right, don't mess around here.
Hey, you got to raise the fastball up in the zone. He's got slider bat speed.
And anything by the letters, he'll swing at it.
It was a
just too low.
fastball, yep.
I mean, you want to go up kind of where that second pitch was on the Subaru strike zone. Up out of the zone.
Change up down. He executed it. Well done. 2 outs. 2 outs, 2 strikeouts for Scott Oberg. Downstairs to Spilly.
Hey, on Saturday, there's going to be a great thing going on at Coors Field. The Drunken Hearts, which is a local band, is going to be performing at the rooftop between 4:30 and 5 p.m. They're also going to be on our pregame show between 5:30 and 6. It's great. It's a local band supporting the local team on your local network. They're also going to be performing at the Grand Doozy Music Festival in Denver, September 16th.
You know, that's all well and good, and that's going to be a blast Saturday night for the fans, for us at AT&T Sportsnet. And, you know, later on in Denver when they play the Grand Doozy. But you know the best gig that band ever played?
I do.
The Marino Palooza.
The Marino Palooza. Exactly. When Lindsay made a grave mistake and married that. No, I'm kidding. No,
did you ask her?
Yeah, she just texted me. She said, "Please don't bring that up." No, that was when Doug and Lindsay got hitched. 1-2 on Hernandez. Fouled off. Trevor Story, folks, 3 home runs in 3 at-bats will lead things off in the bottom of the 8th. Call your friends. Don't miss that, AB. One, 2 downstairs. 2-2. Night in and night out, the drama plays out when you're pursuing the playoffs in Major League Baseball. On the ground is short. Story's got it. Perfect throw. 1-2-3 from Scott Oberg. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. The Rockies 5, the Giants 3. That man will lead it off. Maybe some history. look back, it has been a night Trevor Story will never forget. 3 swings, 3 home runs. The first one, 459 feet. The second one, the longest home run ever at Coors Field, the longest in the StatCast era, 505 feet. And the last bullet, all off of Andrew Suarez, went 416 feet. 1,380 feet of home runs. And it's going to be a macho matchup right here, because Ray Black is one of the hardest throwers in baseball. He averages 98. He's touched 104 in his career. And he will face Trevor Story and everybody in the joint standing. And you are too at home. I know you are. Here we go.
Get out the phones, get out the cameras.
Document it. Outside with a fastball at 100. 17 times a Rocky has hit 3 in a game. The last was just a year ago in July when Nolan hit 3 out. Two and 0.
Crowd starting to boo.
Black has battled injuries, and he's battled control issues with that huge right arm of his. Two-0. He got a swing off there. 2-1.
Love it. Power fastball against a power swing.
I love it. Everybody save the Giant fans are standing. 2-1. Good pass. 2-2 on a fastball at 101.
The other thing too, Drew, Trevor's sitting at 299 with his batting average right now.
31 home runs, 95 driven in. And every one of the home runs was huge. Black wins the battle. And the crowd gives Trevor another standing ovation. What a night for the 25-year-old Texan.
Well done for the fans too. That was great. That was well deserved. Giving that to Trevor.
Tell you what, in addition to immense talent, that's a special young man. As humble as the day is long.
Yeah, you won't be bragging about it in the post-game press conference when you ask him.
He'd be prying words out of his mouth. Here's Parra, his first AB. Gerardo came in to pinch run for Matt Holliday. Matt with a base hit in the 6th, 1 for 3. Three Rockies. First saw Ray Black in spring training, Huey, about 2-3 years ago. The Rockies were off that day, or they were playing at night, and I went and saw the Giants in the afternoon. And this young man I was unfamiliar with comes out of the bullpen 6th, 7th inning to get his inning of work. That hit Parra, so he'll go down to first. And I'm just watching him warm up, and you watch baseball for a living, right?
Yeah.
You're used to seeing, 95, and you know what that looks like. You don't need a radar gun. You can tell 93, 94, 95, right? And I'm looking on the side, I'm like, whoa, what is this? And that day, he hit 104.
And then you can't hardly see a ball go that fast either. Your eyes, it's really hard to travel and to track it that long and that hard. 104 miles an hour.
Here's Desi.
That's when you get the scouts behind home plate, when they register something like that. They all look at each other like, hey, mine says 104. I recalibrated this morning. What'd you get? I got the same thing.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to have to send it in for repairs.
Two and 0. Adam Ottavino getting ready to go. And Wade Davis off tonight. Worked the last couple of days, so Adam will have the opportunity to get the save. The Rockies blow it open. Chad Bettis. 3-0. 3-1. Backed off a little bit at 97 to get it in there.
Oh yeah, just a little control it a little bit better.
Three and 2. See if Parra takes off here. Nope. Strike 3. 2 outs, and that'll bring up Cargo.
If fans drop off any new or gently used children's book at the game on Saturday, September 8th, and receive 2 complimentary Rockies tickets to a select game in September, courtesy of UPS.
So Cargo ripped a double in the 7th inning and would come around to score on a 2-out single by LeMahieu. He's up there. Here's something else on Trevor Story. Beginning the day today, StatCast war wins above replacement. The #1 player in the National League was Nolan Arenado at 6.0, 6 games better than replacement. #2 in the National League was Trevor Story at 5.7. This ball's in the air to shallow left, and coming on and making the catch is Shaw. We'll go to the 9th. I imagine the 5.7 is going to go up though a little bit.
I would think so after tonight.
5-3 Colorado, looking for 3 more outs to shake hands.
A story that will not get old. Trevor Story, 3 home runs for the first time in his career tonight at Coors Field. Historic night for Trevor Story, and I think you have another one.
I might have another one. Do you know who wrote the Iliad and the Odyssey, Jenny?
No, please tell
It was
me.
a gentleman named Homer, and they were very long novels, but not quite as long a story as Mr. Story's home runs.
I knew you were coming up with something there. 505 is the one the second home run was measured at.
Darren Holmes is very happy that that one took place, too, because it replaces his name on the record books.
That's right, because he gave up a long home run to Mike Piazza. We'll be talking lots of home runs and hopefully a Rockies win, sweeping the Giants coming up on the Toyota postgame show, guys.
Yeah, my confession to Mr. Schwartz, I never did finish the Iliad. It would put me to sleep every time I tried. My apologies. Who wants tacos? Fans, follow us at AT&T Sportsnet RM on Twitter to receive alerts for the Rockies taco special when the Rockies score 7 or more runs. Gregor Blanco is going to pinch hit here for the catcher Aramis Garcia. And the first pitch of the ninth, the fastball's away, ball 1 from Ottavino. 16 career saves for Otto, 5 this year.
It's still looking for that number 100, as in 100 strikeouts.
Blanco bounces this one foul. A ball and a strike. Ryder Jones in the on-deck circle. It's 8-9-1 for the Giants here in the ninth. Here's the 1-1 on Blanco. Just missed, 2 balls and a strike.
Well, after Jones, you're going to get Joe Panic, so it's going to be 3 left-handers for Otto.
There's a strike. Two balls, 2 strikes on Blanco.
Hey, Drew, while we have a moment here, the Rockies are pushing towards the playoffs. A shout out to the Grand Junction Rockies.
They made the playoffs tonight.
Yeah, they beat the Orem Owls 3-1, so they won't clinch the second half division, second half title, so they'll go up against the Ogden Raptors.
Big congrats to their skipper, Jake Opitz, out of Heritage High School and University of Nebraska. 2-2 in the air to Cargo and right. That is out number 1 in the ninth. Now bring up Ryder Jones. Earlier tonight, the Mets behind Zach Wheeler beat the Dodgers 7-3 at Chavez Ravine. Arizona off tonight. They're getting ready for the Atlanta Braves. See how Atlanta lost today? They lost 9-8. Here's the final. The Dodgers losing. Atlanta lost 9-8 to Boston. Brandon Phillips came back to the big leagues and hit a home run.
It was his first game back in the big leagues this year.
Yeah, good story. Atlanta led that ball game 7-1 as well.
And that was at home.
Braves started the day 3 up on Philadelphia. Jones takes a strike. It's 0-2. Philly lost to Miami, so that helped out Atlanta. 2 strikes on Jones. Rockies up by 2 with 1 out in the ninth. Here's the 0-2. Almost bit. The 1-2. He's got it. 2 outs in the ninth.
They're asking for that baseball. There, they throw it back in. That's number 100 for Adam. Subaru Supermo swings over the top. Chris blocks it, throws down. Just trailing Curtis Leskanik, who had 107 in that 1995 season. Every time the Rockies went to the playoffs.
Otto's putting together one of the all-time bullpen seasons for the Rockies. And he pounds the strike zone there in the mid-90s. 0-1 on Joe Panic. Single and a double tonight in 4 at-bats for Panic. This game was delayed by 68 minutes at the outset. Kids back in school, but it's been a loud crowd of just under 25,000 who have witnessed an incredible performance, 1-2 by the Rockies. Phenomenal young shortstop, Trevor Story.
Well, just 1 strike away from completing their 6th sweep of the year.
Here's the 1-2. Otto's ready. Fall creeping into the air, temperature at 58 degrees here well into the evening as Otto set the 2-2. A flare down the left field line. Parr is there. Ball game over. The Rockies have indeed swept the Giants. They roll on. That's 5 straight victories. They're now a game and a half clear of the Dodgers and 2 clear of the Arizona Diamondbacks. The first place Rockies 5, the San Francisco Giants 3. Harrison Musgrave gets the victory. Suarez takes the loss. The save to Adam Ottavino is 6th, a 3-homer night for Trevor Story. A terrific night for the bullpen as well. 4 scoreless, and there the beautiful NL West standings as we go to Jenny and Corey in center field for a little more literature.
Oh, Drew, we're just doing some handiwork out here.
We're just cleaning up the scraps of the San Francisco Giants.
Gotta sweep off the table,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh, Rocky sweep, get your broom out. You know what else is in a sweep?
What's that?
3 wins. You know what Trevor Story had tonight?
3 homers?
I think that the Toyota postgame show is going to be brought to you by the number 3. Stick around for that and plenty more. We'll be right back.